Why did I cry at watching the Taylor Swift Eras Tour cinematic experience? I was thinking about this while she played Champagne Problems, and I started to tear up. And then almost anything from the Folklore album. And the realization was that, and I knew this, I've known this, but like the way that Taylor Swift's 1989 album and her Evermore and Folklore albums were a part of pivotal moments in my life is just astounding. So my two most significant breakups, those were albums that I listened to and that were playing and that were in the zeitgeist during those times. Also, big shout out to Beyonce's Lemonade album, which was a pivotal part in resurrecting me from the dead in my first significant breakup. So more on this momentarily. I just needed to get this out as I got back in the car right from the theater. Also, my parking will expire soon, and I need to pick up my son. But more on this. So I'm back. It's like, 2 days later, and I'm in my home. But to continue with these thoughts, just kind of, just this idea of different things like music, movies, shows, that can bring up stuff for us when it comes to breakups. Also, it's funny that Beyonce's Renaissance album came at a time in which I have found myself thriving post these breakups. And so Taylor Swift and Beyonce have special places in my heart just for how their music has tended to enter my life. And I don't officially consider myself a Swiftie, but I am a fan. But it's interesting because early on in Taylor's career, her earlier music, I could take it or leave it. I was like, whatever. And then something happened. 1989 happened. And I didn't realize it while it was happening, meaning I didn't immediately decide or realize, oh my gosh, I'm a fan of hers or her music. It just was an album that was really resonating with me at the time. And then everything since then that she's put out, it's resonated with me. And I came to the realization a couple of years ago that I actually love her music and am a big fan. So, I think it's great and funny and perfect that both she and Beyonce will be have their tour films coming out. Forgive any noise. I'm also removing nail polish as I speak. Multitasking. But so I'm excited also to get tickets to Beyonce's tour cinematic experience in December. I pre-purchased these tickets for Taylor's because I didn't want to miss out. And I plan to do the same for Beyonce's. Both tours I was not able to make. But yeah, they have some things to say that really resonate with me. And also I have this running theory that Beyonce, it's clear that she's a supporter of Taylor Swift, but I have this theory in my head that she's also a mentor. And I say that because, the whole Kanye West thing happened years ago where he cut Taylor off and, Beyonce wasn't about that. She's a classy lady. Okay. And since then, I've seen photos of Taylor at her parties and things like that. And this is what I imagine, that Beyonce behind the scenes, as being, is Beyonce in her early 40s? And Taylor is in her mid 30s now, something like that. So Beyonce being a bit older than Taylor, that I have this running theory that she, has coached her and given her moral support throughout these years, and that they have a bit of a friendship and a relationship that the public doesn't seem to really like acknowledge. And there's even like, supposed like drama between the Beehive and Swifties, and for different reasons, stuff like that. But I really get the sense that Beyonce is way more supportive of Taylor than the media would have us believe. And so there's also just like this like thread for me of like these two women in different life stages, and the music they share and how it resonates very much for me. And so there's been like this like growing fondness for the both of them, in their music over the years. And I mean, Beyonce, yes, like classic back from DC3, Destiny's Child, and all of that. Been a fan ever, since then. And I would say I'm more apt to say that I'm a part of the Beehive than I am a Swiftie, but love them both. Their music, both, it resonates with me. I feel like Taylor's music is a little, in quotes, deeper than it initially maybe seems. And obviously as she's grown, that has developed as well. I'm telling you, the Evermore and Folklore albums, they hit hard for me. They hit hard. And so, yeah, this is where I am right now. This is also this week's episode. It's Tuesday as I'm finishing this, and I plan to release it like immediately. So it's not the usual Monday planned episode. And I realized the past couple of weeks, this is how it's been for me, because as I mentioned in a previous episode about tough transitions, there's a lot of that going on for me right now, and it's transitions for the better, but they're definitely still destabilizing in certain ways. And so I'm just kind of regaining my footing. But I'm excited, and I'll be talking more about these things. But this is what I got for today. Just, I guess like going to that show, or that movie was a very intentional decision for me around having some me time, some solo time. I love going to the movies on my own. I rarely go to the movies, but I am a fan of going by myself at times. And so being able to sit there, for 3 hours and go all in. Also, wait, a big part of the experience that I'm forgetting to mention is that all the tween girls that were there, and how on one hand, I imagined that to maybe not be the most enjoyable experience, but it was wonderful. So I sat right next to these two girls who were so into it. I think they were like looking through their phones. So I'm pretty sure they had gone to her concert and they had photos and stuff. And then suddenly these other girls kind of were behind us and started singing loudly. So then there was clearly like this like sing off, dance off, Swiftie competition that happened that on one end felt a little like cringy middle school Mean Girls-y, but overall was like this really fun thing where the girls ended up like standing in the side aisles and like pretty much recreating the concert experience. And it was really cool to see. And I was like, what a wonderful thing to have at that age, to be able to like engage in this way with the music that you enjoy. And so there was also this like whole like, I don't know, there was like, it was interesting too to see Taylor's musical evolution and see these like little girls all the way up to women my age going by themselves just to like be in their feelings. And it was, I don't know, it just felt really good. It felt really good. I'm happy that I went. Can't wait to do it for Beyonce. Because when you find things that resonate with you and that get you through hard times, lean into them. Lean into them. So that is why I cried at the Taylor Swift Eras Tour cinematic experience. Hey, by the way, I can be found in other places beyond this podcast. Search my name on YouTube and you'll find my channel. Subscribe for periodic how-to videos for dealing with breakups and mastering dating. That's right, I said mastering dating. It's a skill, ladies. I can also be found on Instagram at tracypannock.datingcoach. And lastly, I most encourage you to join my email list where you get breakup and dating support delivered to your inbox, in addition to getting the most exclusive access to my programs and coaching services. My email list subscribers are the first to know when my coaching programs launch and the only people to get discounts when they're offered.